Hi, my name is Charles Hall. I work in accessibility and I'm recording this in Detroit, Michigan. As you can see, I'm also recording it outside, so please forgive ambient sounds. The prompt here was real-world accessibility stories, so my first thought was the parts of the real world that design often misses. And while I don't have answers, I do have some ideas for missing less of it. Design, the verb, is the process of solving a problem, and the noun is the solution. This tends to imply both that a problem is static and a solution is universal and final. We all know that neither are true. We have entire methodologies to iterate solutions over time. We research, we design, we test, we release, we get feedback, and we measure. If the feedback is good, we pat ourselves on the back, ignore it, and move on. If the feedback is bad, we loop back through the process, focusing on the solution. But something's missing. Despite our best efforts and intentions, people were excluded by the thing that we released, so their feedback is missing. We focused on the solution as if there was only one, so the problem is missing. We assumed the problem was static, so all the variables are missing. Worse, we assume the people we designed for and tested with are also static, or at least within a fixed range of types. So all the complexity of being human is missing. Human ability is a spectrum, not only between and across humans, but also and importantly within each individual over time and across contexts. People may have very different needs related to ability based on any number of factors. A task as seemingly simple as checking email may be easier or more difficult based on context factors like the time of day or ambient lighting, having switched devices, relying on a different input type, network connectivity, etc. But also and more so on personal factors like current stress level, having divided attention, being cognitively overwhelmed, struggling to remember something, having to magnify the view, experiencing pain, or simply feeling obligated to versus being happy to. Accessibility is an outcome, a fairly measurable and binary one. There is a barrier or there is not. When there is a barrier, it's described as a gap between the ability and the designed solution. However, that solution and all of our current methods of measuring ignore the spectrum of human ability. We need to combine methods. We need design, the verb, to get really complicated so that design, the noun, can be really simple. Inclusive design is a participatory method that ensures more needs and abilities are met by including them in the design and decision-making processes. It helps close the gap for the spectrum of ability across humans. In order to help close the gap for the spectrum of ability within an individual human, we need new methods that focus on contextual awareness, personalization, and customization, and include some predictive, adaptive, agentive, and assistive features. Some of this gap is addressed by a method known as anticipatory design. More can be addressed by other methods like practical empathy and active listening. My needs are different than yours. Importantly, my needs tomorrow are different than today. Accessibility needs to be the outcome every day. We need to change our behavior. We need to listen more, listen deeply, test more, test again, and remember that not everyone responds honestly and completely in testing scenarios. Focus on needs versus screens. Validate a person before a solution. Think beyond data states and interaction states to contextual ones. And to better understand context, listen to Start with Human Experience, an audio essay from James Buckhouse. Not all of this is more work, only different, more nuanced, more complicated in order to simplify, more real world. Be accessible today, but be better tomorrow. Thank you.